みんなアルとマイクみたいになりたい。でも電話してくれない。オークランドとクックレンドから世界チャンピオンバーチャルプローズ始まるよ。バーチャルプローズ。
To my motherfucking man, 50 grand, the alcoholic man, and jack a tall can in his bloodstream if he can. Biggie Smalls, the 50 stroker, MC provoker, chocolate tie smoker, huh? I like to max and Maximas and Acuras. Your girl butt cheeks, I'm smacking, huh? The raw rapper, spine snapper, with the little cause on my lap. A shot, the but I ain't your fucking comforter. And if I ever fall in love, I bet I'm fucking her. Ask the if I didn't choke her. If she try to front, then I drop the chunky.
Episode 31 of the VRTL Pros podcast. Hello, John. How are you? Good to see you. My name is Al, a.k.a. Super Brazy, a.k.a. TJ Lurkins, a.k.a. Henny Omega, a.k.a. Mr. Todakan-zan, a.k.a. Perp Henning. Remember me? And with me, my BK Oos, Mike.
Hey, motherfuckers, it is Mike, a.k.a. Indo Amore, a.k.a. Wavy Boy Smith, a.k.a. Matt McGriddle, a.k.a. Cannabis Luray.
We don't have a main topic today. We're going to talk about us on the road, making towns, I guess you could say. Hit us on Instagram and Twitter at VRTL Pros. Peep us on iTunes, leave a review. Mike will send you a sticker. Hit us on SoundCloud, hit that heart. You know I like it. If you want to email us, please do so at virtualpros64@gmail.com. Mike, did you miss me?
Yeah, I missed you a lot. It's weird because I used to do another full-time podcast, and I don't do it anymore. And we recorded that one with Doan like a few days after you left. So This is like the longest I have gone without podcasting in like 75 years, it feels like. So
were you getting like
really
withdrawals
weird.
or some shit? Like you're just getting the shakes about not talking to a microphone, or?
I wasn't getting withdrawals, but I was like I'm like so forgetful. Like, so I would just sit there and be like, what did I used to do? And then be like, oh wait, I'd be like podcasting right now. Like, that's why I have nothing to do.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I haven't done this in 1 month, but I will say that episode 30 had me fucking rolling. Doan drawing on his backpack with whiteout, representing Stang. I don't think it gets any better than that. Like, I was nervous about my job. Like, he did such a good job. Thanks, Doan, if you're listening. Yeah, you guys did a really good job.
Also, before you said it, I completely forgot about the sticker thing. So, yeah, I'm gonna get started on that now. Now that the Thanksgiving holiday is over and our last T-shirts are coming out this week, I'm gonna get started on the free stickers.
Yeah, expect them soon, hopefully. We have a ton of emails to answer and reply to. Do you want to start it off, or do you want me to start it off?
Sure, I'll start off. The first one's from my friend Brad. It's subject is Cryabusa, and he wrote this so long ago, like literally almost a month ago. But I just wanted to save it for this episode when Al got back. Hey boys. Long time, first time. Much like you guys, I was also a big Hayabusa fan. Once upon a time when I lived in Philly, Todd Gordon had a new promotion, ran out of the ECW arena called Pro Wrestling Unplugged. It wasn't actually acoustic or unplugged in any way. Weird name choice. Have you guys seen any of that? Anyways, I went to just about all of them, and at one of the events, Hayabusa was a special guest, post-career-ending injury. He was wheeled out in his wheelchair. He then proceeded to sing a super sad song, and at the end, he stood up out of his wheelchair. Pretty much everyone cried. But me, because I am a crazy tough. Oh, pretty much everybody cried but me because I am crazy tough. Have you seen this? I feel like you need to see this. However, I haven't been able to find it anywhere. Maybe with your godlike internet presence, you can find it. XOXO, Brad Dizzo, a.k.a. Tyler Trees, a.k.a. The Intimate Warrior, a.k.a. Vince McMahon, a.k.a. Slay Wyatt.
I've never seen...
This actually,
go ahead.
I was going to say, this starts off like a nice trend of all listeners having way better AKAs than us, but so I wanted to mention that.
Yep. I've never seen this video before. If you have a link to it, listeners, like, let me know. I know Bahu, the FMW god. No, I've never seen it. You seen it?
I don't think I've seen it. Him doing in Pro Wrestling Unplugged, and I don't want to say it's kind of like a parlor trick he did, but like he's done it like a few times. Like he did it at that FMW reunion at the beginning of the year.
Are you talking about him standing up, or like I haven't seen the video of him singing though, like and then standing up.
Yeah, he always sings a song a little and then he stands up. I swear to God, he does it on the FMW reunion, and I've seen him do it before. I don't think I've seen him do it in Pro Wrestling Unplugged, but I've definitely seen videos of him doing that. Yes.
I think I saw the video that Bahu recorded of him in Japan singing, and I felt some pretty hard emotions. Probably like Bradley, I don't know if I'd cry, but I definitely feel something in my heart a little bit if I saw that clip of Hayabusa standing up after he sang a song.
Oh, I don't know if I'd cry, but I'd definitely be a little teary-eyed, maybe.
Yeah, I might have like a stiff upper lip, maybe. I don't know. The next email is from DC All-American. He wrote in with questions and comments. DC here, aka Kent Hazemore, aka Randy Titman. I don't know what Titman is. Let me know what that is. Aka Shinya Hashimoto, hash in all caps. His first point is that he says, all forms of entertainment suffer when they attempt to expand viewing times. So why on earth would you do that knowing the history of shows providing too much content? Keep the show the way it is every 2 weeks. Noted. Point 2, I have come to realize that I treat my wrestling like I treat my music. I don't really mess with anything new. If I come across something solid, I'll give it props. But for the most part, 90% of everything I truly care about happened when I wasn't an adult, and there's a mental block on me accepting the current product as being on the level of wrestling back in the day. I look at the Cruiserweight division in WWE, and I say to myself, I had a division with Ray, Juventud, Psychosis, Jericho, Eddie Malenko. Man, nothing anyone today can do can really impress me. Am I alone with those feelings? I think we touched upon it like 2 episodes ago. I think with the Cruiserweight thing, like, the reason why it's not really, like, hitting is that, like, you're not getting, like, these once-in-a-generation talents like you were, like, back in the day with, like, Eddie and Dean, Jericho, all the names you listed. But I'm kind of with you. Like, things in, like, 98 definitely have a bigger effect on me than things that happened in 16. But, I don't know. I don't think it's weird, but I can kind of see where you're going, DC.
Yeah, it's just because it's, like, a different style. And not a different style, like technically a different style, but just like the way wrestling matches are planned out now, and just everything about it's different.
Yeah.
And, I think we've said it before. That's just kind of like definitely my lane. Like stuff older than like the 90s is like okay, and I can appreciate it. And stuff newer is cool and definitely has its merits. But yeah, 90s is definitely like my lane of speed and like every execution of wrestling as far as that goes.
Cosign. You got next.
Next up is from listener Kyle. It says, fan pet peeves. Hey guys, it is my opinion that something needs to be added to the list of annoying fan behaviors. At the NXT Toronto show during the Asuka Mickie James match, the crowd could be heard on a few occasions doing the "You Still Got It" chant toward Mickie. Now perhaps I'm just overthinking it, but there is something about this particular chant that feels incredibly backhanded. It seems like the audience is telling whomever, we kind of expected you to suck, but you're actually doing pretty good out there. Obviously, the crowd means it as a compliment, but why would a high-level veteran wrestler need to be told that they're still good at this thing, which they have been doing for at least half of their life? It just seems like an awkward compliment to me. What do you think? From Kyle, a.k.a. Super High Jimmy Snuka, a.k.a. Kerwin White. Kerwin White Widow, a.k.a. Dabu. Those are some pretty good names. People who go to those shows and chant now, we make fun of it all the time. They're not like, they have no strong emotions towards those chants, I don't think. It's not like when I chant both these guys, I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. Like, I really want both of these guys to continue wrestling, but people just do it because they're like programmed to. And, like they think it's a term of endearment, but they don't think about like what it actually means. Just like, you deserve it seems like a big backhanded compliment type of chant to me. Because it's like everybody fucking deserves it. Why is this person specifically deserve it? I don't know. So I think all those chants really bother me. I did notice on Next Takeover somebody chanting, like just one person by himself chanting at Mickie James, Trish's girlfriend, and it was like one of the most cringy.
It was a Trish's lover, right?
Yeah, either Trish's girlfriend or Trish's lover or something like that. But yeah, it was just like you could just hear him by himself, and it was just like, oof, boy,
that was pretty rough. I was watching Survivor Series on a Monday morning in the Philippines, and I thought I heard it, and then I went on Twitter, and I was like, yeah, that definitely happened. Yeah, Kyle, I agree with you. I guess, like, when you're chanting, "You still got it," you're, like, inferring that they lost it at one point, and so it is kind of backhanded. Like, when Stephanie McMahon was getting the "You still got it" chant, she was always kind of a babe still, so "You still got it," definitely kind of backhanded. Up next is from Ed209. He writes in regarding the cruiserweights. What up, Alan Mick? You misspelled your name, Mike. Yo, want to chime in on these cruiserweights really quick? I'm happy for 205 Live because the shit they doing right now on Raw is an absolute travesty. How the fuck did the CWC become the hottest thing on the network, but dull and boring as fuck on Raw? Why the fuck you stick them in the halfway mark when people are drawn out and exhausted? No, you put them to open the show immediately with guns blazing. Didn't they do that at the Raw episode in Glasgow? I also believe that if Ibushi were to get signed, he'd be the guy to make the CWC noticeable on Raw. Anyways, fuck Raw and fuck the WWE. You boys stay fresh. I'm out this bitch. Yeah, dude, I mean, they're kind of being put like in this inopportune spot in the middle of the show. I mean, I think on Nitro, all the cruiserweights opened up, right? And they'd like get like 10 to 15 minutes, get that show going. But
I mean, after
it's not good.
People are kind of like, you know, looking at that with rose-colored glasses because after a while the cruiserweights were just getting like beat up by fucking Tank Abbott and shit. So, and people act like, I mean, they did like revolutionary matches, but people act like they were like, you know, people treated them like human beings. Like, you know, the same thing with the cruiserweights now. People don't like. I'm starting to ironically like it just because it's so amazing how separated and how there's just like they treat them like midget wrestlers. Basically, it's just like an act that they roll out a couple times a week and they do it and no one seems to really care because they're being told to work these like not very exciting matches. And I don't know. So they have their own show now so they can go away maybe and just do their own little thing on their own little island. They don't have to share locker rooms anymore or anything, but I don't know.
Let Braun Strowman like lawn dart TJ Perkins into a trailer and something might happen. I don't know. You let Kevin Nash do it to Rey Mysterio. That was kind of tight.
Like, why can't you even let them talk to real wrestlers? Like, they can't even be like fucking, I don't know, like, oh, hey, Bray Wyatt, what's up? I'm Jack Gallagher. Like, why can't that happen? It's just like that. It's like they're just in their own little part of the arena, and it's just it seems even more backhanded than those chants, basically.
Damn, you're kind of right. They let the women cook with like Enzo and like Roman Reigns. They should let TJ Perkins talk to some other people that are not 5'8". Yeah. I don't know, just me.
Yeah, it's just super weird. There was a torrent of emails by this man who decided he didn't want them read because he said he was drunk when he wrote them. Advice. The last thing I ever want to do when I'm drunk is either read or write an email. So like, I don't believe that excuse, but you know, hey, whatever. I'll let it slide. But he did call me out on something and saying I was nodding my head to. He saw me at AIW and I was nodding my head to DJ Shima, that wrestler, that guy.
Yeah.
I have not nodded my head to anything in like 20 years, man. Like, I do not have the energy to nod my head to anything. So I'm calling bullshit on that, and I'm calling bullshit on your drunk story too. You weren't drunk.
I'm saying I didn't see any capital letters like spelled out. You weren't faded. Come on, Doug.
Yeah, no one writes emails when they're drunk. Next email is from listener Christian. It's regarding light tubes. First off, congrats on 1 year. Hey, thanks. You guys kill it. Realest podcast in the game. Such relief to not have to fast forward through bullshit ad reads for fucking Fuego Box or some sock company. I don't think I've ever heard those commercials on a podcast, so he's listening to some real shit, I think.
Yeah, what's Fuego Box? That's weird. All right.
Yeah, I don't know what any of this shit is. Socks. And maybe Colt Cabana. Like, Colt Cabana always switches up his sponsors, and he always sponsors some wild shit. So maybe it's his podcast. I don't know. Just got done listening to episode 29 and had to admit 2 cents to the giggled light tube conversation.
Gigged.
I was at Zandig's gigged light tube conversation. I was at Zandig's tournament of survival this year in Jersey, shooting the shit with a couple staffers. They mentioned that they went to the junkyard and got thousands of light tubes for cheap. Allegedly, the harmful chemicals burn up in the light tubes and are harmless once they burn out. Huh. I missed this email when he sent it, so this is all new to me. This is like I'm learning. I've worked as a photographer intern for CZW back in 2011 and can tell you that all the gusset plates, Kenzins, and shit are so much worse up close. First day on the job, DJ Hyde had me cutting soda cans in half and hot gluing them to a table. Keep up the good work. Christian from Philly, a.k.a. Sir Chilliam Regal, a.k.a. Paul E40.
Damn, those are good names.
That's some good insight. I love that emails. People who are not afraid to share this stuff with us, share it with us because it's really interesting.
So I had a sneaky suspicion what Fuego Box is, and sure enough, it's a hot sauce blind box that you could subscribe to. So if you're into that,
because it's impossible to find hot sauce, like novelty hot sauce otherwise.
Yeah, it's super weird.
You cannot just walk into any fucking store and get ass blaster hot sauce.
Man, I've never seen a half soda can match, so if you guys have fucking any links to this stuff, I'd like to see it. That's kind of crazy. Have you seen this?
No. God, no. I will when I'm come hell or high water, I'm going to Tournament of Death this year. I gotta do it.
Oh, yikes. Next email is from George, titled Episode 30. What's up, guys? It's been a minute, but wanted to write in to say great job on Episode 30 while I was away. Big up, in particular for Doan, representing for WCCW, which was one of my favorites as a kid. I watched a lot of Southern wrestling back then, and not all of it has held up well, but watching World Class on the WWE Network still brings me back to watching the Von Erichs, Gentleman Chris Adams, and the like after school. The iconography segment was great as well. Demolition were always my WWF tag team of choice, although the inclusion of Crush sucked a big bag of dicks in my opinion. Anyway, keep on bringing the thunder every other week, and happy holidays to you guys as well. Hey, thanks, man. You too. Cheers, George, a.k.a. Fiend Ambrose, a.k.a. Lit Finley, a.k.a. Paystax Calhoun. I was listening to episode 30, and I think you said something about how you don't recall Demolition being like in a good match. But I feel like there's like a weird like Demolition versus Heart Foundation, like 2 or 3 falls. That was like really, really good. I could be wrong. That could be another tag team. But
I think somebody tweeted that there's like a good, I think it's Brainbusters Demolition match, but
yeah,
I don't know. Like, I don't really ever go back and look at that shit, so I believe you, but I'm probably never gonna check it out.
You got the last email.
Oh, there's actually now there seems to be 2 emails.
Oh, there's one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's one from Harpo, and then there's one from Joel.
There's 3 actually. My fault. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that that Paystax Calhoun is probably one of my favorite AKA listener names so far. That one's great.
Yep.
Anyways, Harpo says, "Sup fellas." He has a match he'd like us to review. He says, "Sup fellas, your boy Harpo here. I think I've come up with a match that perfectly captures the Virtual Pros aesthetic. I'd love to hear you two dig into the 10-10-96 Michinoku Pro 6-man tag match between Dynamite Kid, Dos Caras, Kuniaki Kabashi, versus Great Sasuke, Mil Mascaras, and Tiger Mask, aka Dynamite Kid's last match. I'm certain you both watched this match before, but this match is the living, breathing embodiment of your podcast, with Al being a lover of all things Sasuke, and Mike being a bitter, cranky, old white asshole confined to a wheelchair. Most of that's true.
Yeah.
You've got OG Tiger Mask being fat as fuck and still hitting his signature spots, contrasted with Dynamite Kid looking all skinny and shriveled, like he's a couple weeks away from having his name added to the AIDS quilt. This match is the perfect end to his career of one of the shittiest human beings in the history of this sport, which covers a ton of ground. It's up on YouTube in 3 parts for some goddamn reason. This match screams Virtual Pros to me. Peace, Harpo.
We'll touch upon it next episode. 916 in the building. I haven't seen that match like in a decade, so I don't recall a whole lot about it. Do you, Mike?
Yeah, I remember it being real sad. I remember that much. It was definitely like fucking. I don't know if it's this match though, because I checked the links real quick, and I thought their last match. Let me see. I'm just gonna look real quick. I'm looking. Hold on a second. Give me a second.
Give him a second.
Yeah, this seems to take place in like Carrican Hall or somewhere like nice. And I swear their last match was just in like some like one of those weird Michinoku Pro gyms where there's like 100 people and like blue mats on the floor. But I could be completely wrong about that. But either way, yeah, it's gonna be a sad match either way with Dynamite Kid, who's of course, you know, like much like Chris Benoit, one of my favorite wrestlers, and he just gets a bad rap. That's why it was. Did you see that video where like they have Tiger Mask talk to him and he like moves his lips because like he could only respond to like having to fight Tiger Mask?
No, I heard about it, but I didn't bother to watch the video. Is it like pretty depressing or what?
It's super depressing, but then you're like, oh man, that guy is such a piece of shit though. So like you're just like, yeah, whatever.
Next email is from Daniel. I think we skipped over it, but it's okay. Dumb people question. Hi guys. I'm not even going to try to do the nickname thing. That's your lane. That's okay. Love the podcast. Find the brevity of the discussion something that's missing from a lot of podcasts. especially WWE centric ones. I feel like you guys have a good hold on how to make wrestling chat actually fun to listen to and not too boring dudes in different rooms droning about how Apollo Crews is buried. Anyway, a question. Last week, I had the opportunity to go to a Pro Wrestling Eve show that featured Manami Toyota in her first European performance. I had a lot of fun, the matches were good, the crowd was good, but there was one guy that wouldn't stop saying, "That's gotta hurt." I wanted him to fall into a volcano forever. He said it every time loudly like it was the most original thought in the world. And even though, yes, dumbass, that's the whole damn point of wrestling, it looks like it hurts. So bearing in mind that this idiot with bad teeth, got him, tried his best to ruin my experience, what's the most annoying thing you heard someone announce at a show that didn't become a chant? Take it easy, guys. Great podcast. I don't know. I always have this weird hang up about, people that chant, like, real names at people. Like, if Kane comes out, like, someone will be like, "Hey, what's up, Glenn?" And they'll try to get this whole thing going. And I'm like, dude, I get it. You have the internet, but, like, that's not impressive to me. It happens all the time, I feel like, at every single show I go to, and I fucking hate it.
This is something I actually forgot to mention when I talked about it a couple of months ago, but when I went to King of Trios, and I can't believe I forgot to mention this, when I went to King of Trios, the only, like, super cringy thing that happened while I was there is during the Japanese lady 6-man match.
Yeah.
Somebody tried to get, it was either Joshi Wrestling or Joshi Power chant started. I think it was Joshi Power because it was just like one dude and it like went like two rounds and he was like, "Oh, that's not working." And I think he heard his voice out loud and like realized how fucking dumb that sounded and just like stopped immediately. But yeah, that was just like, I was like, oof, sheesh. But, you know. I
would have chanted Joshi Power. That's a cool chant. Hey, if you're a Chikara fan, if you're listening, I would have joined you, dude. That's a cool chant.
Yeah. Okay, last email is from Joel. Streetwear in today's WWE. Hey, Virtual Bros. With people like Enzo, Amore, Carmella, and the Usos bringing streetwear to WWE, it seems like the trend is growing. Just wanted to see what both your opinions were on the streetwear in today's WWE. Are wearing basketball sneakers in the ring tacky? Are bleached WWE shirts ever going to be in WWE shop? Would John Cena be more acceptable if he had Pyrex shorts on? Thanks, and keep on rocking in the free world. Doot doula doot doot. A.K.A. the outlandish Meech Swan. A.K.A. Lil Don Fuji Vert. That's a good one. A.K.A. tell me when to go Shiozaki. A.K.A. Hyphy Whipwreck. I don't want to sound like an old grandpa, but I do think they should have some rule about wrestlers wearing sneakers in the ring, where like it's so many now where it's just like, okay, like some of you dudes got to stop, but I mean it's just changing with the times though, so I shouldn't have that opinion because it's not like wrestling boots are cooler anymore, but it just kind of looks shitty when people are like, if everybody's wearing sneakers, that's one thing, but the fact that there's still other people like dressing like actual wrestlers and you're just wearing some Nikes like to show off, it's just like, come on, man.
Yeah. It's kind of like low-hanging fruit. Like, what's her name? The New Jersey chick on NXT, Liv
Carmella?
No,
Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan. Like, Liv Morgan just like looks like she's going to work at Sheik's. And I'm like, it doesn't even look like you're really trying here. And I know like wearing sneakers is like an easy way to get something trending on Instagram or Twitter. But yeah, dude, I'm with you. Like, there has to be a cutoff. Like, only one or two people should be able to wear some Jordans. Shane being one of them, and the other, I don't know, have a ladder match for it. Like, have some Jordan 1s at the top, but like, just like, have like TJP and Enzo do it, but like everyone else, like, come on, man.
It's one thing if you're at like an indie show, but like if you are in the main event, if you are in WWE, you're supposed to have like this persona. And yeah, and there's like 10 dudes now that their persona is being like a young person. It's just like, I don't know, man. You got to do a little better.
I agree, man. I will say, though, that for all my Stardom watchers, Io Shirai and company, Queen's Quest, like, during their promos, they're just rocking Bape, and that shit is the fucking best. Like, more of that. I'm okay with that. Sneakers, though, I'm not so sure. We'll get to two-man scramble now. I guess I'll start. Mike, do you have those chips on hand?
Oh, man, I forgot to ask beforehand when we were doing this. Shit. Yeah, so why don't you go into this? Did you
open them yet? Or are you good?
No, I haven't opened them yet. I'll open them while you explain it though.
All right, cool. I'll open them too. So one, Togi Makabe, he collaborated with Calbee to make a potato chip for him. I guess they're Mont Blanc flavor, which is like a pureed chestnut. And me personally, I can't handle like sweet tasting like potato chips. So I might vomit live on Virtual Pros. It might be a first. I'm kind of scared. You kind of subscribe to this theory that like if you take chips onto a plane, like the altitude fucks with the flavor, but we'll give you a live taste test on how these taste like.
Yeah. And if you don't listen to Kissing Contest, my other podcast, I'm a professional snack taster. We taste a lot of snacks on Kissing Contest.
Yeah.
And I will say, right out of the box, opening the bag,
they smell crazy.
They smell crazy bad, like gross, like cake, sweet cake, and like potato chip together. It doesn't smell good. Calbee is a brand that most people enjoy because they fucking go fucking crazy with the MSG on their chips. So mixing MSG and I don't know, cake flavor, I don't think it's going to be good, but...
This tastes like supermarket cake, which is like my most hated flavor in the world. Like, I can't stand frosting. What are your thoughts, Mike?
Oh, yeah, you're right. It does, like, I can't eat buttercream either, right? It fucking makes me sick. And,
oh, God. I'm gonna throw up.
It's like... It's an interesting taste. I've had the Pringles. Like Pringles has made like some kind of sweet chips before.
Oh,
and yeah, dude, these
suck.
I will say these knocked it out of the park getting that like cheap cake flavor down. It definitely tastes like some cheap, just yellow sponge cake with a hell of a lot of frosting on it.
Yo, this tastes like diabetes, dude. This is disgusting.
I like sweet stuff a lot, but
no, man.
Yeah, hopefully these are like a flavor that Togi Makabe maybe designed himself, and he just like really wanted these.
Yeah, that's how it worked out. Yeah.
Oh, so he's responsible for this.
He really is. I guess it took him a year to finally master this flavor down, and I guess you nailed it, dude.
A year, huh?
Yeah, it took a year. I mean, they did nail it with like the supermarket cake taste, if that's what he was going for. I will say that it took me like 51 tries to find these bags of chips. They were like nowhere to be found in Tokyo. And I walked in on my last day, like to this weird jobber, convenience store, and they had 2 left. And I was like, well, I got to do it. My final review, not good, dude.
Would not recommend. I can't believe Calbee was like, yo, dude, you can't make these. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And we make barbecue, and we make seaweed, and we make normal. We don't need your cake chips. But
oh man, I'm gonna throw these away. My next topic is I think you might have saw it, Mike, as you're the other half of this whole project. You saw Bull Nakano put on the Virtual Pros flag recently at her bar, and most recently Chris Hero is seen wearing the Untouchable 2 tee in this upcoming 2016 retrospective DVD with high spots. Mike, I got a quick question. Got to clear my throat a little bit. Mike, can I talk that shit again?
I think you can talk that shit
again.
Can
I talk that shit again? Can we just go back to being super negative or what? Because we had a crazy year, and what the fuck happened, man? It's kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah. I wanted to like sneak this in on a different topic, but it is, we shouldn't let this go to our heads, because the next thing you know is we'll be making an hour-long podcast about how this isn't going to change us like some other podcasts do. And yeah, no, I mean, it's cool. I know, like, I think fairly well-known people own my shirts, and I just never have had like evidence of that. So, not like evidence that other people could just look at and be like, oh shit. So that's pretty cool.
A lot of people in the comments were like, well, might as well call it a day. It's only downhill from here. And you guys have me anxious right now. You guys have me fucking nervous, because you might be right. I don't know what to do to top it, but that happened, man. No, it was kind of crazy.
As I said episodes and episodes ago, wrestling fandom is such a small pond. We'll be out of this pond in no time. We'll be in the big ocean. Don't worry, Al.
Thanks, Mike. Sage advice. Yep. I appreciate it. My next topic. I watched Lucha Underground last week, and I wanted
yeah, you did.
I wanted to talk to you about it. 3 ladies that I've been a huge fans of over the past year showed up, and I just want to talk about the pros and cons. I'll talk about the pros first. I thought that this match between Pentagon, was it Junior? Pentagon Dark versus
it's the same guy. Yeah.
Same guy, right? He wrestled Kairi Hojo, Maya Iwatani, and Io Shirai back to back to back. And I will say it looked fucking incredible. Like, I haven't watched Lucha Underground in full, but like, I like the way it's shot. I like the way that it's filmed. Like, the frame rate's kind of fucked with, right? Like, it's slowed down a little bit, so it looks like film. I think that's sorta, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I will say that like this, without question, was on like some star-making performance shit by Io Shirai. She looked incredible. Like, I'm not even a fan of intergender wrestling. I'm obviously not a fan of Lucha Underground. But like her dressing in all black instead of like that Blaze Streets of Rage 2 costume that she wears in Stardom, like she should just wear black the entire time. She looked crazy. And she put on like quite a performance. The cons though, like Matt Striker is fucking insufferable. Am I right on this?
Yeah, dude.
Like,
yeah, dude. The only other person who like begs us for a Lucha Underground chat is Welf.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, Matt Striker's not that bad. And it's like, dude, no, he is literally like the fucking worst.
He's fucking stinks. So like,
if they got rid of him and just got some dude off the street, they would probably like at least like double their ratings. Like, it's just, he turns people off from watching it.
Yeah. So like my two critiques is like his pronunciation. So Io Shirai goes by Hitokiri, and like he pronounces like an Italian word, and like I can't get over that. He was like Hitokiri, and I was like, that's not how it's said. Like, I'm not a Japanese native speaker, but like you were totally fucking this up. I don't know if you're doing it on purpose, but it's super distracting. And like, I always thought that Lucha Underground, I could be wrong, like it kind of like exists like in its own universe. So like, why is he referencing Tommy Dreamer and Raven? And like, why is he calling Canadian destroyers Far East destroyers? Like, you gotta fucking be consistent.
Yeah, for real.
Also, Vampiro, I don't know if that's his gimmick, but like he was moaning kind of sexually. He was like,
yeah, I found out later because I haven't.
I was like,
yeah, I found out later because I hadn't watched it in a long time, and so like I honestly haven't watched any of season 3, and yeah, that's like part of a greater storyline basically. Because I was like, why is he like the whole time? I was like, is he like drunk? It's like, what's going on? But yeah, it's just part of like a greater storyline.
He sounds he's pretty good on the mic, but like, it's kind of like in the 90s when like hip hop albums would have like weird sex tracks in the middle. And I was like, I don't know if it's supposed to make me feel the way, like, I don't know what they're going for, but it's kind of uncomfortable. What did you think about this whole thing though? This whole episode?
I have 3 things about this. First off, the first one is that Mayu Iwatani is in it. She's the second match in this. And it's very weird trying to see her portray like a mean bad person.
Yeah.
And she's doing a good job in the beginning, but there's a part where she goes outside the ring and just starts smiling as if she was like the regular person she usually wrestles as, and it's just like, oh, you fucked up. They like cut away really quick, but it was good and nice to see that she wasn't really turned evil. She's still nice. The second thing. This match, or these 3 matches, I wasn't really like sure if you'd be into it because like I don't watch a lot of intergender wrestling either, and I think it's kind of weird. Not weird in a bad way, but like I think it's something like you could do, but you shouldn't do it a lot, basically. Like it should be done in spurts or something.
Yeah.
And as far as intergender wrestling goes, and you know, Lucha Underground adds sound effects and shit, but this was like the most brutal like a man has ever been to a woman in intergender wrestling, I think.
Oh, dude. And, so like when they came back out, like I know like they juiced those sounds up with like the knife edge chops, but like Kairi Hojo and Maya Iwatani, like their entire chests were fucking red. And I was like, holy shit. Yeah.
They were again fucked up. So I was like, man, maybe this is not the match for Al. But I'm glad you liked it anyways. But yeah, I mean, they took it and, you know, they prevailed in the end. So it wasn't like if he just like fucking ruined them and that was the end of it, it would have been kind of sketchy. But it wasn't. And finally, yeah, this match kind of made me realize like, see, I kind of fell off with Lucha Underground in season 2. And it was just because they went back to the well a lot where they were like, it's going to be the same match we did the first season, except better. Yeah. And it was like never better. And I've realized anytime like Lucha Underground does something for like the first time, it's like always fucking amazing. Because like this was amazing, and the time before that they had a match between Sexy Star and Mariposa, who is really cheerleader Melissa.
Yeah.
and it was like a no holds barred like woman on woman street fight match, and I was like, man, this is gonna fucking suck. And it was like awesome. It was like my favorite match of Lucha Underground last season. And so it's like they just have a knack for like the first time they do something, it's always fucking amazing. It's just like everything else they do is like getting kind of like, you know, it's not horrible or anything, but it's just you know, it's not as magical as like the things they do for the first time. So yeah, if you're skeptical about Lucha Underground, this is definitely something decent to watch. Even Al agrees.
I felt like kind of a ghoul because I kind of imagined Io Shirai, the deathmatch wrestler, and I was like, if she went like that Megumi Kudo lane, like she might go down as an all-time great, because she was like that dive off of the Office or whatever that thing was. Oh my god. It was crazy to watch. It was like a 13-minute match. If you haven't seen it, I think El Rey opened it up. Definitely worth your time.
Yeah, I don't know because I don't keep up with the backstage stuff or anything, but I thought they were just there to record that match and then they were gone. So it'd be kind of crazy to just do that crazy ass stunt and like never to be seen again, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah. You're up next with the 2-man scramble topics.
Okay, I don't want to make this episode like 9 hours long, so I'm just gonna try and go as fast as possible. Even though I've just cursed myself saying that. I'll cut this out because it's not that funny. Do you think Ric Flair knows how to use a computer?
Absolutely not. Are you kidding me?
No, like no fucking way, right?
I heard about this. Yeah. So yeah, what happened?
Oh, I don't know.
Just in general.
Yeah, because I just brought it up because this little like private like friend group on Facebook I'm in, somebody like posted a screenshot of like Ric Flair's Facebook, and it's just like one of those pages that just posts clickbait stuff. And I was like, well, obviously he doesn't do this, and like he doesn't do his Twitter either. And I was like, of course he doesn't. He doesn't know how to fucking use a computer. But now I just don't know if like other people are tricked by it. Like I don't know if other people think Ric Flair knows how to use a computer, because he definitely does not.
I definitely imagine Ric Flair.
When would he learn?
Ric Flair just like calling Charlotte over to ask how the TV works and like how to turn it off and how to record stuff. So
yeah, dude,
definitely cannot use a computer for sure.
If you told him to turn a computer on, find his podcast, subscribe to it, download it, and listen to it, no fucking way. No fucking way he could do. Like he could do that in under an hour. No way. I would bet $1,000 on it. How important is leg selling to you now?
Oh my god. So this is going to be a 37-hour episode, I feel like. But in some, like, so all right, when someone works on a leg, right, for an extended period of time, are you just waiting for that one spot where they just like collapse, or like if they run the ropes, they fall down, and then like it's okay? Like, oh shit, okay, I can cross that off the list. They sold the leg correctly. I'm okay. This match is good now. Like, is that the entire deal with like people like being hung up on leg selling?
I think so. I don't like. No, it's just because people need to like. It's fucking. What's the word I'm looking for? It's just disgusting how people need to like criticize things in real time and like nitpick things. And it's like, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, Nakamura had a match with Samoa Joe on NXT TakeOver.
Yeah.
And Twitter was ablaze with people saying that Shinsuke Nakamura was not selling his leg properly, which is the lamest thing ever to say in a public place, by the way. But like, dude, like fucking give it a minute to set in. Like I've said it before, if you're not posting jokes on Twitter, don't fucking post it. You could like make one of those fucking flow charts. Should I post on Twitter? Is it a joke? Yes, you should post it. Is it a chore that I'm gonna do? No, don't post that. Is it some like fucking like open-ended like no nothing criticism? Don't post that either. Don't post anything that's personal, that's gonna make people feel awkward. Just post fucking jokes. Post jokes and post shit to sell. Post things that are pertinent to your life and other people's lives that they would like to see. Yeah, like fucking bullshit criticisms. Like, again, who's gonna see that and be like, oh yeah, he's right? Like, no one fucking cares how you feel about leg selling, and it's just weird. I don't know. It's such a weird thing to nitpick, and it made me think: am I not watching wrestling right? Because I do not give one shit about this. And it's like, no, I'm watching wrestling properly, like how you should watch it, as just like a form of entertainment. And not something to like fucking like just fucking pick apart.
Like, Like, are you just excusing the part where like Samoa Joe just laces Nakamura with like the sweetest dick kick and then slams him on stairs, and then that finish was pretty bonkers? You're just like, I mean, that was all right, but Nakamura, like, he could have just like grabbed his leg 2 more times, and I would have been okay with it. Like, you're right, dude. Like, what are you watching? I don't understand. Like, they fucking went all
just
out.
Stop watching it.
Yeah, just quit. Please stop.
Just play video games if you need leg selling, and then you can fucking sell the leg all you want, man. Like, I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
You're not watching the right thing. It's not for you anymore. You gotta move on.
It's really not.
Oh, sorry, I had to put my phone down because I was fucking getting worked up over that last one. This is a t-shirt idea I had, and I just want to say it because we'll never make it, but just in case we end up wanting to make it, this is like copywriting it.
Yeah.
So I have this idea for a t-shirt, Al. It would be a completely all black t-shirt, nothing on it except for at the bottom in the middle, the middle waist part would be like a picture of Tomohiro Ishii from like the tits up, just so like far away it would look like a dick was sticking out of your pants. So I'm just putting that out there. So I'm just putting that out there just for, you know, maybe we'll get some listener feedback if that's a shirt you would wear. Let us know. There'll be no Virtual Pros branding on it. Maybe a little VP somewhere, but otherwise just Tomohiro Ishii just on the bottom of your shirt. It would be a real conversation piece. We could probably even charge $50 for this now that I'm thinking about it. So just keep it in your back pocket, Al. Think about it.
I kind of think about making friends and family t-shirts that we make for free for like our friends, and that might be it. I was going to make a Megumi Kudo t-shirt, also copywritten. Don't do that. But this Tomohiro Ishii one might be our friends and family t-shirt that we give away. I'm okay with it.
Okay, this is moving fast. So did you watch ECW OMG Moments?
I didn't watch that yet. Is it good?
It's good because it's just like ECW clips.
Well, I got one question. Where did Kimono Wanalea dancing atop the ECW arena place?
Well, you know, I was only going to tell you 2 things, and that was one of them. So it was 20. It was 25, which I was like, it could be a little higher.
That's bullshit.
Because I mean, if I made the list, it would be in the top 10 easily, just because of how much they fucking played it.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what number 1 was?
Man, my number 1 would be Kimono Wanalea dancing atop the ECW arena.
Yes.
Maybe Sandman getting crucified. Is that number 1?
That was up there. I think that was in the top 10. The number 1, like I think Sandman getting crucified was like 9 or 8, and as soon as that one popped up, I knew what number 1 was going to be. And it's one of those like low hanging fruit that you're going to be pissed you didn't think about it. But it's the Terry Funk Cactus Jack match where everybody throws the chairs in the ring that they played over and over again at the beginning.
No,
go
ahead.
I'm fine with that. Like because they played it in like every intro, so it was like one of their like big legendary moments. So I'm fine with that as number 1.
That clip is hot, but someone reaching through the glory hole and giving Kimono Wanalea $1. I think it was Chris Jericho. I don't know, man. I don't know. Just it's number 1 to me in my heart for sure.
Me too. So, but yeah, 25, a little high. Another thing that I noticed outside of leg selling for the past few weeks is that all Noah or All Japan, which one had a big event?
All Japan had a crazy event with Onita and all them. Yeah,
All Japan just had a big event, and I noticed a lot of people asking straight away, how was the attendance? And like we've talked about this before, but I think we've always talked about it in a past tense where people are bugging people like Dave Meltzer online saying you were wrong by 40 people. Asking how the attendance was like after the show happened is just like, because I really don't want to be negative. I really want to sympathize with the regular wrestling fan out there that I just kind of become disconnected with. And I'm like, I'm just like, why would people buy like used ring gear? And I'm just like to jerk off inside of. And, I'm like, okay, I understand, and it's just like, why do I watch Stardom? Because I'm lonely. Like, it's, it's just stuff that I put 2 and 2 together. But the Japanese attendance thing is just weird because it's just like when I was in bands and book shows and my friends were in bands and book shows, that's like a customary question to be like, oh, how'd it do? How many people paid? Blah, blah, blah. Because it affects your life. Like,
personally, right.
I don't want to play. Yeah, I don't want to play a club if like no one's going to show up. so it affects your life, but like to just want to know the attendance of some faraway land where you literally have no input. You can send an email to WWE and be like, I don't like this. And if you say it loud enough, they'll listen. But you can't do anything about All Japan's business. Like there's nothing like, and I don't know, I guess they love it so much that,
dude, there was one guy taking pictures of the crowd as the show was going on. He was like, man, I don't know how it's going to do. And he was like, oh, it's picking up. And like, it looked like a flip book of like this crowd filling up. And like, people were just like, how many do you think are paid? And I was like, oh my God, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
We're out of touch.
So
dude.
yeah. And I didn't even see that. So that's mind blowing. But like, yeah, I'm genuinely asking, if you are a person like this and you like deeply care about this, please let us know why. 'Cause like, if there's a real reason, then I'm fine with it, but it just seems like very odd behavior to me. And you really shouldn't concern yourself with things like that, because like you can do nothing about it. It's just gonna fucking drive you insane.
Cosign.
Okay, the last one. So Al, this is kind of a scenario. Would you be more embarrassed? Say you were caught by either a significant other or maybe a female relative.
Mm-hmm.
If you were caught with like a solid amount of pornography, like let's say, like a fucking like one of those 100-gallon like storage bins of pornography, just DVDs, just like a whole like basically a treasure trove of pornography.
Okay,
just all porno DVDs. Like they thought that was where you're putting your clothes, and they opened it up, and they're like, oh, there's 357 porno DVDs that Al never told me about in this the storage bin. Or if they open it up and it was 357 different variations of kayfabe commentaries, Kevin Nash booking WWF in 1996 DVDs.
Oh man, both of these things. Go ahead.
It's one thing to own like five is, I guess 5 is okay. It's one thing to buy it and watch it and give it away. It's one thing to buy it streaming or whatever. But when you have that much physical media of something that like niche, that is shameful no matter what it is. And that is just like, I've never understood the appeal of those things. So I don't know. I was just thinking about that today.
Truthfully, I mean, I would rather be caught with kayfabe commentary DVDs, but I feel like
really? Wait, you really would truthfully?
Well, just because on cover art alone, like you can kind of like.
But how? So you would lie though. So you would lie about it. You would be like, these are important. This is important history.
But
what Kevin Nash has to say about the 1995 WWF roster is important history. This is not pornography.
I feel though that like both are probably like on the equal like level of shame, and like both probably require like the same amount of like explanation as to why you own these things. But I mean, come on, man. Like you'd rather have someone find Kevin Sullivan talking to that dude DVD over Kobe tie, like getting like splurged on. Come on, man.
But I think with the girlfriend or even a female relative, they're like, oh, well, he likes porn. Maybe he likes it a little more than I thought he did. But but at the base level, you're right. They wouldn't know what Kevin Nash explaining what he would do to the Attitude Era to make it better. They would have no idea what that meant. But once they found out that you're done, like you're disowned, you're dumped, it's over.
I mean, those are two things I'm hiding if someone comes over for sure. Like wrestling DVDs, like those are like getting put behind other DVDs for sure. Every single time. If I have a social event in my apartment, like I'm doing some cleaning up, and the first things that go behind the other DVDs are definitely WWE media for sure.
And yeah, just to be fair, or just to be specific, I really do mean those ones where it's like some wrestler explaining like what he would do for wrestling from 20 years ago, like how he would book it. Because I just like, those are just boggle my mind, like why they exist and who buys them. Like, would you think they sell 100 copies of those? Like, if that, I don't think so. I'd say they top out at 100 easy.
I think they sell like 500 copies, dude.
Even 500. That's manageable. Okay, that was it. Am I gonna talk about ROH with your Japan stuff, or do you want to break it up?
Let's take a break here. Up next, On the Road with me in Japan and ROH with Mike. Please stay tuned. 쉽게 빠질까봐 위험해 보여 조심하려 할 때 움직여지지 않아 날 보는 내 시선이 내 몸을 감아 하나로 아껴 너무나 이제부터 아무도 풀지 못해 뻔하지 않게 우연 같지만 나 baby 서로에게 녹아들어 우리 기분은 저 하늘 구름 위 몸에 다들 보여줘 이미 내 맘은 준비돼 있어 I need a cha-cha boy 말할게 네 마음 바로 지금 그래 같이 올라가자 하늘 위로 All I wanna do is kick it with you 이제부터 날 부르게 해줘 마구 All I wanna do is kick it with you
And here we are back on Virtual Pros, and Al took a big trip to Japan, and we're going to talk all about it. But before, you have to hear about my big boring trip to ROH Final Battle, and I'll get it out of the way quick because I don't really have that much to say about it. But so yeah, I went to ROH Final Battle, which is their quote unquote WrestleMania of the year. Although I do feel ROH has a lot of like, this is the anniversary of something. They have a lot of those pay-per-views, so yep. I think this is their WrestleMania at least. Shout out to Brian, listening to the show, Brian, for getting me in. He got me a little guest pass for this ROH shindig. And again, this is where I was going to use the joke that I shouldn't let this go to my head and change me and do an hour-long podcast about it. But I already did that joke, so we don't need to do it again. But hopefully a handful of you out there get that joke, and you're like, yeah, that's funny. But yeah, we went. It was a show. It was ROH. It's at Hammerstein Ballroom, which is like this is like the first time they've done ROH there in years, because I don't quite remember what happened. I feel like something happened when TNA booked there. They like decided to pay like an astronomical fee and priced out all of other wrestling so no one else could use it or something. Like it's something weird. And they stopped running there. And I love Hammerstein Ballroom. It's probably my favorite venue to see wrestling in. So I'll probably be paying more attention to wrestling now that it's there, or now that they're starting to book there again and not at shitty Terminal 5. Huh. So that was cool. It was cool to see fucking wrestling there for the first time in like 4 years. And we sat near the stage where like the wrestlers came out. And I heard before the other people that were there that we met up with, we got there a little late. I heard before that there's a stage door right there where the wrestlers were going through, and Jushin Liger went up to go through the door, and it was locked, so he just had to awkwardly stand there for a little while in his costume until he figured out how to get backstage. So that would have been really awesome to see. The wrestling was cool. It was, it was ROH. I mean, I heard like on fucking the Wrestling Observer radio show and like a bunch of other places that this was like the best ROH event of the year and one of the best pay-per-views of the year. And it was good. Like, I honestly don't really watch ROH outside of stuff when they have New Japan stuff, so I'm gonna probably like the New Japan stuff better. But it was pretty good. It was well done. Some things are that I was buying beers, and I was like, they did they had a 6-man title that was like a tournament final to crown their 6-man titles, which is so bizarre. Why would you make that belt? Like, if that's not something you're getting from like some southern territory from the 70s that you inherited, why would you make that belt? No one cares about 6-man wrestling in America. It's dumb. But so I was like, oh, Kushida's in this, so like, and it's like for a belt, so this would probably be a good time to grab a beer. Nope. It was like the biggest line of all night for beers in the bathroom and like buying merch. Like, everybody treated this match like intermission. I don't care. Like, I missed it. I didn't want to miss it, but I was in line so long for a fucking beer that like 75% of the match was over by the time I got back to my seat. And so yeah, ROH, that's probably not a good way to kick off your big 6-man titles with a bunch of people just going to get beer. And the other team they fought were the Kingdom, but it was like one known guy and then 2 guys that are new, because I don't think a lot of people knew them, and it was bad. ROH, if you've never been to ROH in New York City, it's from, I mean, I'm going to say it's different, but it's not like I've traveled the country going to ROH, so I could be wrong, but I think it's a very different crowd, and I think other people have said that before. I won't so much say it's a cooler crowd. It's definitely just a different crowd. I saw a man there wearing a short sleeve shirt and like AJ Styles style gloves, but not the AJ Styles brand, just like his own brand of gloves. And, short sleeve shirt, and I was just like, come on, dude. Like, and he wore them throughout the whole entire wrestling, and it's like 3 hours. Like, how are you gonna wear gloves inside for that long? That's weird.
Did he put his hands together like AJ Styles did, or no?
No, he's just wearing gloves because I think he thought he looked tough. Like, I don't fucking know, man. Like, why the fuck do you wear gloves inside? Why do you wear gloves at all? The fuck's wrong with you? Why are your hands so delicate? Like, I don't know. Like, just fucking stop wearing gloves inside, man. It's fucking weird. But that's the kind of crowd you get at ROH. They're kind of nerds, but they're like nerds who've lived in New York all their lives, so they're like still a little streetwise, I guess. It's like, I don't know. It's so fucking hard to explain. It's just like a different crowd, man. It's a completely different crowd. Security to get into this place. I am a high roller, so I did not have to go through security. But for the people that had to go through security, it was the most tight security I've ever seen for a public event in my life. It was like worse than the airport because they weren't even letting you bring lighters into this place. And that is fucking ridiculous, because if you could bring a fucking lighter onto a plane, you should be allowed to bring one in the Hammerstein Ballroom. Like, what do they expect these wrestling dudes to do? Like, it's just fucking ridiculous. So yeah, even though I am imploring you to at least check out wrestling once in the Hammerstein Ballroom, expect some crazy fucking security. That is just leading my next point, which is all throughout the wrestling. The wrestlers are coming out. It's a big stage. There's smoke machines going off. They're doing the laser light show. And so I wasn't like, the first few times I saw it, I didn't really put two and two together. Like, I would see like a plume of smoke come out of like the audience, like near the stage or like the entrance stage. And I was like, why is that smoke machine like malfunctioning and just fucking shooting smoke out during the match? And then after a while, I looked closer and it was a vapor. It was just a guy vaping into the crowd. And then I tweeted about it, and CZW fans tweeted, I saw him on TV. And then I was like, there's no way he saw him on TV. He's so far back here. So I looked closer to the front, and there was another man vaping. And so there's at least two people just openly vaping here. Meanwhile, they're like fucking giving people like anal cavity searches outside of this place to get fucking inside. And they're just letting people like openly vape inside. And it's just like, come on, security. Like, what the fuck's going on here?
Did they like boof those pens? Did they like put the pens in their butt? Like, how'd they get away with that?
No, I didn't check. I wanted to take a picture of the sign, but I also didn't want to get beat up by cops. And like, not that that's something they could beat you up for, but we have been taught to be afraid of cops now. So I'm not fucking around and taking pictures to be like, oh, look how this stupid shit, and then get beat up. So I didn't take a picture. So maybe they didn't have e-cigarettes on the list. Like, I could see that. Because again, that's something I think you could bring those on planes. So you can't bring lighters though. But overall, like, it was fun. The Young Bucks fought the Briscoes, and it was pretty good. And then Matt Hardy did a thing. Like, he wasn't there, but he had like a big screen on their version of the Titantron, like challenging them to a match, and I fucking lost it. I was just like, holy shit. I was too afraid to chant both these guys there, because I was with Brian and then people like I kind of only sort of know. And like, like, it would just be weird. Like, they would be like, that's not funny. And I'd just be like, no, it's funny. You gotta listen to my podcast. It's funny. You gotta listen to it. So I didn't do that. There was a guy, completely forgot about this until right now. There was a guy during the Jushin Liger Donovan Dijak match that tried to start a Yura F-bomb chant for Donovan Dijak. And it's like, dude, what year did you just come out of where you think this is acceptable behavior? Like I said, weirder ROH crowd in New York City. I think he had some other choice words to say. Finally, I've said it a million times, man. ROH keeps Bullet Club in business. I have never seen that many Bullet Club variation shirts in my fucking life that up close. I always see it when I watch the ROH pay-per-views, but like up close, man, it's just like, holy shit, guys! Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, would you ever go anywhere and like purposely wear a shirt that at least 1,000 other people are wearing?
No, you want
to make you
would want to stick out. I feel like if I'm gonna go to a wrestling show, I'm gonna break out that JPN shit. That's just me, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, like when I went to the Terminal 5 one, and that was like a New Japan thing, so I feel like New Japan's an even different crowd than regular ROH crowd.
Yeah.
I saw like a lot of people flexing like crazy Japan shit, like Ribera jackets and like those New Japan jumpsuits and shit.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, this was just like, it's like, dude, like, I guess you feel a sense of camaraderie. Like, you're like, yeah, we got the same t-shirt, but it's fucking weird, man. I would never go anywhere where there's like any hint of like even 3 people wearing the same shirt I was wearing. So like, I don't know, maybe that makes me like shallow or whatever, but it just makes me feel not weird inside at the same time. So, but hey, you know, like, what are you gonna do? There's people too sweeting and stuff like that. So I guess it's like a club. It's like a Bullet Club.
There you go.
You're like, we're all friends here. We're all wearing the same shirt. So that was ROH. Thank you again, Brian, for taking me. It was very fun. I hope to do it again. Love Hammerstein Ballroom. Love ROH, love the Bullet Club, love all that stuff. But Al, you had a bigger trip. You went to Japan.
I went to Japan, and I guess I'll break this down into 4 pieces. Me going to Totocon, me going to Dragon Gate, me going to Stardom, and me going to one Bull Nakano's girls bar. I'll start off with going to Totocon. For all the merch hounds that listen, like, it's definitely something that, like, you'll never be prepared for once you walk in. And it's like crazier than you can imagine. Like, I walked in there and like there was just like a dude behind the counter rolling up like Misawa and Kawada posters. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And there was like Undertaker like cardboard life stands that they were like pricing. And like it was just super surreal, right? Like I would say like it's about maybe like a little smaller than like a half court basketball court.
Okay.
It's not too big. But like it is like literally like sealing the floor just full of like insane shit. There's a lot of stuff I regret not picking up. Like there was like an All Japan bomber jacket that I shouldn't have slept on. There was like crazy Liger toys that I missed out on. If you do go to Japan, like I feel like you definitely like would have to set aside like an afternoon to get the entire experience. So how many people do you think work at Totocon, Mike?
I'm sorry, you broke up. How long do I think you were at Totocon?
No. How many people do you think work at like the Totocon store at a time?
Oh, I would say 1 or 2.
So 5 to 6 people work here at one time. And like for me, like it would be like my dream podcast, like my dream TV show, if they just got together and like just talked about their daily like life at Totocon, like just talking about like the customers that come in and like sell their wares. And like there are some absolute weirdos that are at that store. Like there was one guy that was like in the naughty VHS section for a while, and I was boy. Man, he is plotting on this fucking like Megumi Kudo DVD right now. Like he's really thinking about it, and I bet like that happens like on a daily basis. So if they ever decide like to make a podcast, I would like tune in religiously.
So they have a separate naughty VHS section.
So check it out. So like I remember you asking me like if I could take a picture of where like to keep the Kiss cards, and like it took me a while to figure it out. Like it's not very organized. Well, I guess it's like they did the best they could do in terms of organizing this insane store. But if you need to know, go ahead.
Yeah, I've seen like Chris Hero and Colt Cabano went there once, and I watched their video, and I was like, yeah, I wouldn't say it looks like a mess, but it definitely looks like, to me, like just picturing it, it just seems like kind of chaotic, where it's not like the most organized place, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're definitely right. Like, how do you organize a fucking wrestling store? Like, where do you put the figures? Where do you put the used costumes? Like, it's insane. They have to manage so much stock. But if you do need to know, the Kiss cards are by the door. I don't know if that's the best spot, but that's where they are. But yeah, definitely if you're in Japan, check it out.
So the back to the naughty VHS, they have their own category.
Yeah.
And are they in the back? Does it say Pinku?
No, so check it out. They are right in front of the register. So I feel like if people had the smart idea to like snatch and run, like one of those 6 people would just like be able to tackle them.
This guy's in there just right in front of the register looking through this shit.
Yeah, it's right in front of the register, and he's just like rifling through like all like the Megumi Kudo and all of like the Manami Toyota like photo books, all the Stardom stuff. I like took a quick glance, and I was just like, this is just too weird. I can't do this. I was gonna get you some weird stuff, but like I'm glad I did, because like I got checked by like SFO security, and like that would have been a weird thing to explain about these Kiss cards that I had in my luggage, so I'm glad I didn't fucking cop. But yeah, I guess the pro tip is like, you're never gonna like peruse their entire stock. So like, you should just buy stuff online ahead of time and then pick it up. And if you have extra time, go ahead and like rifle through their stock. But Totocon, definitely an experience. Moving on to Dragon Gate. So I got to Japan on a Wednesday and Dragon Gate was on a Thursday. I thought I broke my jet lag pretty quickly, but I found out that I didn't. But first off, shout out to Jay at iHeart Dragon Gate for the tickets. He reserved tickets for my brother and I ringside, and for us to go to Korakuen Hall. I'm saying, right? For us to be ringside, like I can see why people shell out money for these tickets. Like I'm usually a cheapskate, and I don't think like a view matters, but like being like in a place where no one's in front of you and it's only like fucking cameramen for Weekly Pro, man, you're kind of flexing. So I was like, man, I'm glad this happened.
Dude, I'm totally converted, man. Like for $10 extra or whatever it is, man.
Yeah.
Fuck having people in front of you. Fuck that.
Yeah, shit is trash, man. You want to get front row all day long if you fucking can.
Like it's one thing for WWE where it's like $300 or whatever, but like if it's the difference between like $30 or $40, just like, you know.
Yeah, just splurge out. Exactly. Yeah. So mind you, Korakuen Hall is on the 5th floor, right? So my brother and I, we go pick up tickets and we go line up and the doors open. And I was like, oh shit. So what we did was we just like cut 2,000 people and we just went to the front of the line and we just got in immediately. And I was like, oh shit. Like we're just like the fucking dumb Baka Gaijin that everyone talks about. Like we just didn't like figure like we should go to the first floor and wait. Instead, we just got like fucking first dibs on the door. We were getting like weird looks, but we were just like, yeah, whatever. We're in. And so like super bad form, but I mean, whatever. We got in first. Pretty shameful actually. Korakuen is amazing. Like every time I go to like a place that I see on TV, I think it like is super small, but Korakuen is actually like it's as big as you think it is. If you watch it on TV, like it seats about 2,000 people for all my attendance truthers out there. But Dragon Gate, I'm not someone that follows it, so like I definitely acknowledge that like someone that follows it would have gotten more out of it. But like you know that like Dragon Gate only like employs like handsome men. And so visual like men, yes. A lot of visual men. And so like it was weird because like half of that crowd was just full of babes. And I was like, where am I at? Just our luck though, my brother and I got sat next to like two dudes and like the rest of the front row was just like, whew, oh boy. Like, I don't know if I watched that entire card because they're like girls were showing out for that show for like, El Lindaman for SEMA. And like, I've never seen a wrestling crowd like that in my life. So it was weird to see, man. It was like half of that crowd was babes and it was weird to like get like beers and eat edamame as a snack. I think the highlight of the show. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Like, it's very visual, so yeah, it's just like that's what I was going to ask is not so much about the visual stuff, even though that makes total sense to me and one of the many reasons I don't watch Dragon Gate. But so what was like anytime I click on something on the internet that's Dragon Gate and it's a full event, it's like 73 hours long. Was it that long?
Nah, it was like maybe five or six matches, I feel like.
Okay, so it wasn't like a big show then. It was just like a whatever show.
It was like a 2.5 hour show, 3 hour show. It wasn't too crazy. I mean, one of the guys I wanted to see that I know was Eita, and he wrestled for 7 minutes, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's one of the guys I know, and like, you only gave me 7 minutes? That was a bummer. But I will say, though...
Wait, was this Tozawa's last show?
No. He like left like maybe a week or so before I got there, so kind of bad timing. Okay. But I got one of his t-shirts that commemorated his career there at Dragon Gate.
Yeah.
The biggest takeaway I have from that show is that like I've been known to sleep. I think I have narcolepsy, dude. And so like I thought I broke my jet lag. I got in like the day before, and my brother and I before the show decided to have a very Japanese experience. And so we got drinks next door at TGI Fridays, and we had highballs, which are just vodka and soda water. We had a bunch of those. And I was having a good time, and then all of a sudden I just know that I fucking knocked out. And I wake up to SEMA cutting a promo, and I was like, oh shit, I hope this isn't televised. The next day, listener Joel sends me a screen cap of me just fucking like arms crossed, hugging myself, nodded the fuck out. And so this is documented that I slept through one of these matches, and I've never been more ashamed in my life. It's kind of like when someone takes a photo of you like drunk, but like this happened on fucking Samurai TV. So if you guys catch it, you know, you'll know that it's me that just dozed off. But yeah,
all those babes out there are just like, look at that sleeping boy, that sleeping gaijin up there.
My brother said one of the wrestlers pointed at me while I was sleeping, and I didn't notice, but that was very shameful. Sorry, Dragon Gate. I had a good time, but I don't know, just me dealing with the time change, I feel like. The main event, though, I feel like, or at least one of them, was me going to Stardom.
Before you get to the main event, you also went to the New Japan store. How was that?
I went there last year, and so, like, the New Japan store, like, if you have access to the internet, obviously you do, it's just kind of like a second floor, like, room where they just have all of their stock out. Like,
okay.
You'll see,
that's why I imagine. I imagine it wasn't, like, a big thrill to go there.
I mean, like, it was cool to see all this merch live, but, like, at the same time, it's not very, like, it's not an experience, right? It's not nicely laid out. They just have like 3,000 like Ingo Bernables hats out there for you. They have all the sizes out. They have like a grumpy person behind the counter.
Historical stuff they're selling or anything like that.
They have like signatures from wrestlers. They have like old toys out. But yeah, you're right. They don't have anything crazy for sale except for all the new shit. So that was kind of a bummer. But I mean, if you're in town, like it's only like 3 minutes away walking from like Totocon. But yeah, Stardom. That was on a Friday, and my brother. He went with me on this trip too, but he was busy that day, so I was going solo, like just to make the startup experience like worth it. Long short, I went to the wrong building. I went to Shinkiba first, which is the building that they have those weird car matches in. I think I was like I was working myself up like the entire day, like, oh my god, this is so weird, which resulted in me like taking an hour detour to the wrong building. It was actually at Shinjuku Face, so like I missed out on the pre-opening doors thing. Like I could have gotten a photo with Io Shirai, Kairi Hojo.
Oh,
this could have been a way different segment, but I fucked up. So I got to that show a little late. Shout out to Chris Wolf for the ticket assist. If you guys ever go to Stardom, hit her up. So I got seated maybe like not ringside, but I was behind ringside. I was seated next to like two people who were dead quiet. Until like Mayu Iwatani came out, and once she came out, like this dude next to me on my left, like he was just like sniffling, like he was just like nonstop, like, and I like to think that he was controlling his anime nosebleed, like he was just getting so horny that like he just couldn't help his nosebleed, and I was like, oh shit, it's fucking lit, like this is how I really envisioned like Stardom to be, right? So like on top of that, the entire row next to me, like they had like telephoto like lenses, right? Like you could you probably could like capture space with these lenses, and I was like, this is what I wanted, you know, I wanted this fucking widow experience. And so anytime someone got in like a sexy stretch or like a submission, those cameras would fucking come out, and it sounded like a fucking drive-by shooting with all like the fucking flickers coming out. And I was just like, I was just beaming. I was like, man, I wish Mike was here. He would fucking love this. I will say though, that like, for all the weirdos that are there alone, myself included, there was a lot of dudes with like their girlfriends. So like, although like the Stardom crowd is kind of weird, like it kind of seemed like it was kind of like a normal outing for some people. Go ahead.
I'll wait till the end to ask my question.
So like, the guy next to me on my left, the anime nosebleed guy, like under his breath, like it was a tag team tournament, right? So like this guy under his breath, he was like, good kato. So like whenever someone would make like a good play, like cut someone off the tag, he would just be like complimentary of like the techniques. And I was like, man, this guy's like a real student of the game. And I don't know, man, that guy, I wanted to like befriend that guy, but I just didn't know how. You might make fun of me about this, Mike, but like whenever like the young girls like in outside would like try to clear the crowd out for a dive, or would someone like would fight outside and they try to clear the crowd out, it was kind of scary. Like I was kind of scared. It was very frazzling. Like I was frazzled because like people would be like pushing and shoving. They didn't want to get dived on. And I was like, oh my God, this is really dangerous. And like, there was a sense of danger for me.
Want to get dived on though.
You would think, but like people were like, get me the fuck out of here. I don't want my Iwatani to jump on me. But yeah, you're right. And so like, it was fucking crazy. Like that stuff looks so tame, like when you watch it on TV, but when you're in the middle of that fracas, man, like it's kind of scary. I will say though that match between J.K. Green, which is Jungle Kiona, and Momo Watanabe versus Thunder Rock was incredible. Like it was incredible to be like a part of like an actual close fall in a Japanese crowd where they go like, whoa! And I was like, oh my God, this is what I've seen for like the past like 20 years, you know? So, overall, like Stardom, like might be one of like the craziest, like funnest shows I've ever been to in my life.
So you hear that, guys? Go to Japan and see Stardom.
Yep.
It sucks because 90% of my questions were going to be asking how is like the herd for the pictures, and you fucking missed it.
I botched it.
And now I'll never know.
No,
I'll never know. Because I imagine it'd be like a lot of heavy breathing and just like, and it sucks because I'm going to ask you like whose hair did you sniff, and you obviously didn't sniff anybody's hair. And that's a letdown. Did you get there in time? Because I watched that card. So it is like they portrayed on Stardom World. It's only like 5 matches.
Yeah, I think I saw like a total of like 4 or 5. Yeah, it wasn't a very long card.
Yeah, so that's odd. But I guess, you know, they do so many shows though for like an independent promotion that I guess it makes sense to only do 4 or 5 matches. Did you get to see? I'm pretty sure I watched over Thanksgiving because I didn't have anything to do. I sound like such a fucking piece of shit saying I caught up on Stardom over Thanksgiving like a fucking. I'm gonna go fucking kill myself. I can't do this podcast anymore. I'm gonna go fucking jump out of the window. But no, I watched a bunch of Stardom on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And watched like the last 3 or 4 cards. So I watched that one, but they all kind of get jumbled together. But I'm pretty sure the little like teen match was Azumi, who's like the most tolerable little teen. Did you get to see the little teen match or no?
That wasn't part of my. Yeah, I think they're doing the rookie tournament right now. That wasn't a part of the show. It was all like the older people.
Not that. Like definitely Azumi fought on that Stardom card.
Oh, I think I might have got there too late for that actually.
Yeah. Because that was another one of my main questions was, is it awkward to watch like a 15-year-old girl wrestle in front of you? Because if the answer was anything but yes, it is awkward, then I would probably stop doing this podcast. So I guess we'll have to wait for you to go back to Stardom to find out.
I think Momo Watanabe is 16. Did I think it was weird? I'm not going to answer that now. So.
I don't know which one that is offhand, but there's only
she has a
like
very short hair. She just joined Io Shirai's Queen's Quest.
Okay, I know which one that is. I would never guess that girl is 16, but not that makes it any better. But like Azumi, and I don't think Starlight Kid is down with them anymore. But like there's another 1 or 2 girls they have now that are like obvious adolescents that I don't know. It's a different culture. Like I don't understand that shit. But you're telling me about these telephoto lensmen. And now I'm thinking about these little girls, and I'm getting real bummed out. So it's probably good that you came late. Honestly, it's probably good because you might have saw a little darker side of the telephoto lensman. Speaking of which, I could relate to that because one of the years I went to New York Comic-Con, I was like, they were having a cosplay contest, and I was like, I gotta see this shit in real life. Like I gotta fucking see it.
Oh no!
And I went. And I mean, it wasn't like the awkward thrill I was looking for as much, just because like it was literally like a bunch of people just dressed like anime I've never heard of, and I was like, this isn't thrilling. But there was one guy there who's like, I sat in the back. I was not going to sit anywhere up front for that shit, man. Like, I don't want to be put on some kind of list because that's weird shit. So like, I sat like all the way in the back, and there was some guy that sat like not too far away from me in the back, with like a giant telephoto camera, like taking pictures of everything. And there was literally like at one point, like there's somebody with a wheelchair that wanted to watch. So they put them in like the, like just they put their wheelchair in the aisle to watch. And it was like kind of blocking like the camera guy's view. And he was getting so fucking like puffed up about it. Why didn't you just sit up front if you're going to be this much of a fucking pervert? Like, how are you going to be a pervert from like 90 feet away? Like, you got to be up front. So I guess I understand that mentality. So, but I mean, I guess you said there's a bunch of people there with their girlfriends too. So I guess it wasn't too bad. How big is this place? Is it a big place?
So Shinjuku Face probably, I don't know. I'm so bad with like predicting like audience like numbers. Thank God. Maybe it seats like 500 or 600.
Okay.
Maybe less.
So how is, and it was, you would say it was sold out or packed at least?
It was packed. Like there was people like standing, I feel like. And, yeah,
I need an exact attendance number, Al. You need to tell me exact attendance.
I wrote
or
this.
I just can't even imagine.
By 7:42. 7:42 happened, yeah.
So what is like the average Japanese pervert? Like, are they clean cut? Do they smell bad? Like, what do you think?
Man, they come in all shapes and forms, man. So the guy to my left, he was an older man. He was very skinny. He did not have a camera, but he was just all about tag team plays and performance. Go ahead.
Okay. So if you had to, like, maybe if you're on a game show and you had to guess this, like, how many perverts could you just spot there, like, just by eyeing them?
I mean, everyone there was probably a fucking pervert, dude. Honestly, like, let's be fucking real. Like, you're part of that whole thing is like they're charging $45 for t-shirts, which I did buy one of those. I did buy a SHIRAI fucking long sleeve. It was fucking fine.
God, like, I really wanted those, and I really wanted one of those, and I was jealous when you got one, but no, I'm not anymore. Fuck that.
No, you fucked up, dude. They only sell them there. SHIRAI handles their own merch. Well, I mean, the yen is weak, so it's probably like $36. But anyway, like, I mean, they're selling like, you know, these 8x10 Polaroids of like Kari Hojo and very like cute poses. So I mean, like, everyone is up on the game. You know what I mean?
So you bought this stuff. So were they not handling their own merch like when you went to go buy it then? So
like I bought the SHIRAI long sleeve during intermission, and I think like a 9-year-old sold it to me. SHIRAI, I think, was just getting ready for the main event.
They had an intermission for a 5-match card. I mean, I guess you got to get maximum perversions in there, so I guess it makes sense to have an intermission. But
yeah, I mean, like Chelsea and Santana Garrett were out there. Chris Wolf was out there, like selling their wares. I didn't bother. But yeah, man. How's
scientific question? How's Santana Garrett look up close? She's still babe.
Santana Garrett is a striking woman, man. If you're listening, Santana, what's up, man? Yeah. She's there. She's there at Stardom for a reason.
Yeah, I would imagine she's pretty pleasant on the eyes in real life. So
a lot of Japanese men thought so too. A lot of people were out there getting those autographs, and it was pretty crazy, man. Stardom, if they come to America, you should go.
I watched the show already, so I know the Cookie Monster guy wasn't there, which kind of sucks.
Oh man, I was like looking for that guy immediately. If I heard the Moyu, I would have just fucking left. I would have been happy with it, but he wasn't there, unfortunately. I feel like he goes to like only Shinkiba first ring. Like, I don't know if he has beef with the Shinjuku Face, but yeah, man, I wish he was there.
There's probably like territorial pissings between like the perverts, and there's like, you know, this is my spot, motherfucker. You can't. This is where I watch EO, not you. But I'll stop this because it's going on like a 7-hour episode now. But if you have questions for Al in Japan and Stardom and Dragon Gate,
well, I was going to get to the Bull Nakano bar.
Oh fuck, I forgot about that. Yeah, go on.
Very quickly, man. So I walk in there at 8:30, and I didn't know at the time, but Osamu Nishimura from New Japan fame, he was behind the bar in a full 3-piece suit, and I was like, "Is Bull here?" And he was like, "Wait, she'll be here soon." And I was like, "What does that mean?" You know what I mean? And I was just like, well, I'll drop these shirts off. If she wants them, she can have them. If not, whatever. And he said 30 minutes. So I was like, cool. So I got a couple beers, waited 30 minutes. She comes in, very striking woman. If I was a 40-year-old, I'd probably shoot my shot. They sat me next to another English speaking person. He was from the UK. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
It worked out. We were gifted what looked to be fried wonton skins. So a thank you, Toshio Yamada, for hooking us up with that. I gave my shirt to Bull. That was insane. Like, she put it on immediately. She was like, "Oh, you're from Twitter." And she like got on her phone and like,
man,
we took like, so she pulled her phone out, and like, to think that I exist as a selfie on her phone, like, makes virtual pros all worth it. And so like, she put the shirt on immediately. We took photos. I took photos of her, half of which are just blurry because I'm fucking shaking. I was like, "Don't fuck this up, Al. Don't fuck this up." And so, that was crazy. So, like I said, I got like 5 like Heinekens. I get my tab at the end. It's like $50. I was like, all right. You got me. I guess it was worth it for the fried wonton skins and 4 beers. But man, that bar is like pretty cool. Like it's weird, like to go to a bar and like see All Japan women's DVDs on the TV. But
yeah, so it's a wrestling bar then.
It's a wrestling bar. There's like photos of like everyone that works there. Like Toshio Yamato works there. Mima Shimoda works there, and I was like, well, this is fucking crazy. But yeah, it's a wrestling themed bar. 80% of which is like all Bull Nakano decorated. Check it out if you like spending crazy amounts of money on beer. But I will say, like, she's a very charming and darling lady, and she didn't have to fucking do that for us. And yeah, thank you.
That's super cool, man. Yeah, that's pretty fucking crazy. So Reddit, you can suck our big dicks anytime you want about getting rights to make shirts, you fucking assholes. And yeah, like, yeah, that's pretty fucking amazing because it's like, yeah, like she was like, oh, you're the guy from Twitter, and you know, it's from fucking Japan. That's nuts. It's so far away. It's not like, you know, like the same state. That's
a different time zone, man. It's 17 hours ahead. And I crossed that ocean to drop off that shirt, and she was very thankful. So, Bull, if you're listening, you're welcome. Thanks for putting on that shit for us, man. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, hit me up on virtualpro64@gmail.com. Up next, the mixtape, if you're still awake. Please stay tuned.
Anti-fuck nigga campaign. 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 That's why fuck niggas can't hang. Niggas tryna switch up into my lane. Tryna ball, but they picking up the wrong game. Wake up in the morning, I want one thing. All my bitches freaky, they got tongue rings. Every 4 hours, nigga chain close. Open up for business, nigga can't close. Young nigga focus on the bank, bro. We be tossing bitches like the bang bros. And if they wanna play, then it's game on. And I bet she had it ready before I came home. Baby, heartbreak at the same time. Only that real, no, I can't lie. When we hit the club, we on wait lines. And you know it took a minute, take time. Man, when you grind, they can't tell you when to stop. So you know I got a heavy schedule. Rockstar, yeah, heavy metal. Need a roller with the Prezi bezel. No diamonds in a clean face. You ain't spending money, cheapskate. And the whole clique when it team straight. No, you ain't running for no cheapskate.
on Virtual Pros. And full disclosure, we recorded some of this already, so we're just going to go through this real quick. This is the world famous Virtual Pros mixtape. You can find this on our YouTube. Just search Virtual Pros on YouTube, Virtual Pros mixtape. Any of that shit, it'll pop up. Subscribe to it. Follow along at home. I picked some weird matches. First is Great Sasuke versus Lenny Lane, Twin Cities Wrestling. This happened sometime in, I believe, the mid 2000s. I was reminded of this match on the DVD VR board over Thanksgiving, much like Stardom, and I never seen it. I heard about this match, about this legendary match where Lenny Lane, the jobber from WCW, fought Great Sasuke in front of a very small amount of people in Minnesota, and that's pretty much what it is. It's at the beginning, this match starts off with a little title card, and it has the phonetic spelling of Great Sasuke, which is low key kind of clever because usually people just call him Great Sasuke or Great Sasuke, and phonetically, then everybody says it right. So that they should have been doing that for years in America. So good for you, Twin Cities Wrestling, for figuring that out. The first thing I noticed about this match is that the ring sucks and it has real bad ropes. And so I was just, immediately thinking, Great Sasuke is going to probably do something stupid in this match and take days off of his life. So I was just kind of waiting for that moment to happen. It comes, don't worry. You'll notice right away that there's a lot of interesting crowd members in this this audience of 100 to 150 people. They are all completely bored out of their fucking minds. it's like somebody like held them at gunpoint to go watch wrestling. I've never seen like a less, and you know what it is it's one of the things, as annoying as the internet can be with fandoms and stuff like that. The one good thing they've done is make wrestling. Actually, no, they haven't made indie wrestling crowds better because they've made them more nerdy and obnoxious. But at the same time, people are more excited about independent wrestling. If you told me that I was going to go see Great Sasuke, even right now when he's kind of over the hill, I would fucking lose my fucking shit. But, that's the power of the internet, because I've grown up with this dude for 20 years. Back then, if I was just some fucking yokel from Minnesota, I don't know who this fucking guy in his pajamas is. Like, I would have probably been captured by the crazy moves he did, but that did not move this crowd at all. They're just a bunch of fucking yokels. But yeah, sure enough, he does the Asai moonsault to the outside, and it is impressive because he manages to do it on these very rickety ropes, and I just thought he was going to brain himself, but he gets it pretty perfect. Like, he definitely fucking hurts himself. He definitely hurts himself flying into the crowd, and that's the other thing. He flies into the crowd, causes a ruckus. All these cheers get spread, and there's literally like a man and another woman like inches away from where he fell. That if they had phones back then, they would just be staring at their phones because they look so fucking bored. This guy just did a move they've ever in real life, and they just they look like they're about to die. They look fucking crazy. But I don't know. Lenny Lane fucks up the pin at the end, but he sure enough does win this match. And I said it to Al that it's finally replaced Just Incredible. The hatred I had for Just Incredible for getting to Great Sasuke twice, because Lenny Lane has to be the most losingest loser Great Sasuke has ever had to have lost to in his life, and this match is definitely going to be left off his highlight reel. Al has seen the documentary. I don't imagine this match is talked about much in the documentary. Maybe for a second or two, but probably not at all. But yeah, Al, what did you think about this, anti-legendary match?
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer how they treated a finalist in the Super J Cup 94 this way. That sucked. This has to be the lowest ring I've ever seen. It's kind of when you are at a sleepover as a kid, and you take all the couch cushions off and all the pillows off, and you put the blanket over it. That's what this ring looks like. It looks like trash. And it's disrespectful to one Great Sasuke. There's a part where Lenny Lane's manager, Mortimer Plumtree, he trips Sasuke when he's running the ropes, and the ref is looking at this entire thing, and he doesn't say one word. And I was just like, that's a DQ, but nothing said. Yeah, the crowd looks super bored. This match is really weird to watch. You're watching some guy that's such a high-level wrestler versus Lenny Lane. And for that, I think it's kind of worth watching. It's kind of weird.
Yes.
Up next is Io Shirai and Ryo Hazuki versus Chris Wolf and Nikki Storm. I'm guessing this is from 2014, 2015. This match takes place in what looks to be in a cafeteria for an elementary school. Chris Wolf and Nikki Cross, they come out to some weird adult contemporary music. And I think it's pretty unique because I've never seen a wrestler come out to music that slow. Mike thinks this is a Britney Spears song. I don't think so. If you have the inside track on what this song is, let me know. Mike was stunned that Ryo Hazuki, she was let go from Stardom for a little bit because it was rumored she had a boyfriend. Mike was heartbroken. He didn't know that there were rules for being a idol, and it sucked to break those rules to Mike.
Yeah, it sucks that you did not get my natural reaction to this, but it leads me to another question that that now I have, now that I got to marinate on it for a few minutes, is how did you know this, though, Al?
I subscribe to one Death Valley Driver, Joshi, that's on my subscription list, and they're talking about how, one guy went on 2chan, which is, the Japanese version of, wrestle, dorkery. And it was rumored that she either was caught drinking or had a boyfriend. And that's why she left Stardom for a while. Yeah, that's how I know. I don't want to know that, but I know that.
So if Io Shirai has a boyfriend in real life, she has to pretend she doesn't.
Yeah, I think that's the rules for being an Asian idol. You have to maintain this illusion of being single. I think that happens for a lot of pop groups in America even. You have to maintain the idea of being single so your fans think they have a chance, and that's why they're fans of you.
That's true. I get it.
I thought this match was pretty good. A lot of back and forth action. Io looks super crisp here. But Nikki Storm's offense is kind of bad. The roll the dice move is like one of my most hated moves in the world. Like it's up there with like the X Factor and like when someone is like laying like in the middle of the ropes, holding onto the top rope, waiting to be leg dropped. Like those are the 3 worst moves in all of wrestling. Mike, what'd you think?
First off, and this is not going to have the same reaction because I already asked you, but Al, did you do the Stardom S in the chant at the end of the event as is traditional to do at the end of Stardom events?
So all of the crowd did it except for me. I just grabbed my merch and I was like, nope, I'm not throwing that S up. The dude next to me threw that S up like it was like his fucking neighborhood, like it was his gang set, and I was like, that's tight. But I'm not doing that though.
But to clarify, though, you knew it was gonna, like, you knew what they were doing, though, and you just refused.
Yeah, so they, like, I mean, you and I have been watching Stardom for years, so I know once they, like, line up side to side, they're getting ready to throw that S up, and I was like, man, I already paid my money to watch this shit. I'm not throwing that S up, though. That's fucking weird. I was, like, not on camera side, so, like, I guess I could have did it.
Yeah.
And you have no proof that I didn't do it, but, I mean, I'm telling you right now, I didn't do it. Just like how you said you didn't sing along to Nakamura's music at Brooklyn. Like, we'll always have these, like, assumptions about each other. I think you did it. I think you think I threw that S up, but I didn't fucking do it, man. I promise you.
I guess that's true. So Ryo Hizaki, this is the first time I saw her because she apparently had a boyfriend and couldn't wrestle for a while. So I missed out on her career. She's a blonde Japanese woman. I do not think that's her natural hair color. She's pretty good. She does a foot scrape. Al picked another match with foot scrapes in it though, and this girl's foot scrapes is only almost as good as the kind of the trailblazer of foot scrapes, Koji Kanemoto. She does a little chant. I think she's more of a bad girl now, so I don't know if she'll do that kind of like baby face type of mannerisms while foot scraping people, but one could hope. I'm going to take this time to mention, because we hardly ever talk about NXT or WWE, to mention how much I hate the Sanity theme song, and it's like new match, and even in the like halfway through the theme song they just like give up and it just becomes even more garbage. It's literally one of like the most offensive songs in the history of wrestling. It makes these guys seem like fucking even more bozos than they already are. If you like Sanity and if you like this gimmick and you think you're like above shopping at Hot Topic, trust me, you're not. Like this gimmick is just like this gimmick is just like Hot Topic, like the worst. It's like the worst corners of Hot Topic. This shit sucks, man. Like that Sanity shit is dumb. I hope they like, I hate being this negative about wrestling, but like I hope they like pick it up somehow. But that shit is like embarrassing to watch. But Nikki Storm, aka Nikki Cross in NXT, she's in this match and she's Insanity. And Insanity, she kind of, they look like they're supposed to be from Fallout 4 or like fucking half juggalos, half crust punks. Like I don't know the fuck they're supposed to be. They're from idiots from the future. And so she's kind of like covered up. And I don't want to sound like one of those weirdos that talks about like Becky and like how she needs to show it off and stuff like that. I'm fine with her covering up, but it makes her look kind of chubby. And so I always thought she was kind of just like this angry, chubby girl, and I didn't understand what the big deal was. And she's wearing more like she's wearing like a more form-fitting outfit in this Stardom match, and she's fucking jacked. Like she has muscles. So I don't know why they dress her like that, because it makes her look kind of like chubby. It's kind of just like how people think Dana Brooke is fat, but she's just fucking built.
Yeah.
And like it's kind of like the same deal. So I guess like when you're supposed to be like a post-apocalyptic hobo, you have to cover up like that. But they need to like figure out something to show her off more, because she's definitely jacked. And yeah, the only other thing I had to say about this match is that the Nikki Storm and Chris Wolf are the heels in this match, and they have their little heel crew. Now it's called Oedo Tai. I don't know if it's that group back then or not, but it's another group of evil girls. And Io and Ryo, or both of them, or one of them, get thrown out of the ring, and there's a very sexy group spanking that happens when they get thrown out of the ring between Chris Wolf, Nikki Storm, and her crew. And it's definitely on Stardom's 50 OMG moments of the history of Stardom. Number 25 for me, probably. But So yeah, if you're making like the sexiest moments of Stardom, you might want to check this match out. But outside of that, it's a whatever Stardom match. Yeah. I like watching all the different white people that come through Stardom though. So my next match, or my last match, is happened a couple weekends ago, and it is highly illegal to mixtape, and it's probably the only way you are going to see it on YouTube. It is a Virtual Pros exclusive and taken down. And I apologize if anybody who's, into this wrestling takes offense to this. Sorry, don't arrest me, but I just had to talk about this match. It is from Revolution Pro or Rev Pro from a couple weekends ago in November. It is Tomohiro Ishii, star of our new T-shirt, versus Chris Hero, wearer of our new T-shirt.
Yep.
And they fight. Tomohiro Ishii is definitely a New Japan favorite for me because he is a hard-ass man who's not give a fuck. They get slapped or punched or headbutt, and this is one of those matches that 4 minutes after it happened, there's fucking 30 geeks on the internet talking about how it's a 5-star match, so I had to see it. It's a fucking great match. I honestly don't have that many notes about it. You should just watch it for yourself while you can. The announcer, one of the announcers, is named Oliver, and he used to post on the DVD VR board back in the day. I don't know if he still posts there, but he has a very proper voice. And he sounds like a young Lord Alfred Hayes. So that's one of the highest compliments I could give to a person with an accent. So there you go. In the beginning of the match, Chris Hero does the "you can't see me" or "I can't see you" trick, because Tomohiro Ishii is like a legit 5'4" or 5'5", and Chris Hero is like 6'4", and so he does like "I can't see you," and it's hilarious. But at the same time, I can just imagine like if this happened in WWE, how many people would bitch about the internet, how like they're burying the shorter guy for making him look like a joke. But since it happened in indie wrestling, it's cool. But whatever. Either way, it's hilarious. I love Tomohiro Ishii so much because he looks like the meanest gym teacher. Like he doesn't look menacing so much. Like he looks like he could kick your ass. He looks like he's gonna be the shortest man to ever kick your ass. And but he definitely looks like a fucking gym teacher that is not going to let you slide for not getting dressed. Like he's just going to be like, nope, you got to get dressed, man, or you're going to get an F. And, you're going to play fucking soccer or whatever the fuck. He's fucking mean as hell looking. And that's why he's awesome. Even though Chris Hero kind of dwarfs him in this, and he just looks like a tiny man compared to Chris Hero, but he still looks like he could kick your fucking ass. And honestly, this match is 13 minutes of these dudes fucking pounding on each other. Pause, not in that way, but they're just fucking going slap for slap. Hero's fucking head pile driving Ishii, and he's like, fuck this, I don't even fucking feel this shit, fuck you. And they're clotheslining their heads off of each other. This is my kind of shit. This match is fucking awesome. I don't think it's gonna be my match of the year or anything, but if I was fucking had enough shame to make a top 10 list of the year, this would probably be on it. This match is fucking awesome. What did you think though?
Yeah, same sentiments here. Chris Hero, he comes out with a satin Supersonics jacket. Kind of had me tight because Seattle, they try to take the Sacramento Kings away from me, but I'll let them cook here. Satin jackets, I think I've stated previously, is just kind of like an undefeated look in pro wrestling. But yep. Fuck the Supersonics. There's a part in this match where Chris Hero, he goes into the ring and he just hits 3 kip-ups in a row as a taunt. And that has me winded just even talking about it. I might be able to hit 2 at most, and it has to be on my bed. How he did this on a flat surface, man, Chris Hero should be in the Olympics. That shit was fucking amazing. Question for Mike. Do you prefer a 10 or 20 count?
I prefer the 20 count. I think the 10 count is fucking dumb. It's just because the referee always has to slow it down, and it's dude, why doesn't everybody go to 20? The fuck? It's some stubborn shit. They could literally, WWE could just put out a tweet one day, oh, we're going to 20 counts, and no one's gonna fucking bat an eye. And I don't know why they just don't do it. It makes it so much more realistic to go. How do you feel though, Al?
I think 10 is too short and 20 is too long, so I think it should be a 15 count.
15 doesn't sound good though.
No, I think it sounds all right, man. They're always so in New Japan, when they count to 20, they get through 1 through 17 fucking quick, and 18 through 20 takes fucking 3 minutes. So I mean, You might want to even it out with that 15. I'm just saying. I really dug the mini story of like Ishii like mustering up the strength throughout the entire match to hit one suplex. And I thought that payoff was like super well done. Like Ishii's just fucking going for it. Like it's like in Fire Pro Wrestling. Like if you try to go for the strong, like it's not going to work out. Yeah. But like after a while, you'll get it. That's how like it fucking came off to me. Both these guys chant hit the UK. So well done.
Both these guys. I missed that. Fuck. Shit.
Yeah, well done, Virtual Pros. We fucking crossed the pond. I don't think there was one rest hold in this match, which is fucking tight. Like, for that reason, like, must watch. This is kind of like move truth or talk, but I don't understand how Chris Hero, like, how does he do that elbow without taking someone's, like, jaw loose? Like, he is fucking swinging for the fences every time he throws that elbow, and it's always mystifying to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I've seen him live a few times. I've seen him obviously recorded a few times too. And I feel like in this match, Ishii was like, you could lay into me. I'm a big boy. Cause he's really fucking laying into him here.
Yeah, like I know he's slapping his chest or something, but good grief, like he is letting Ishii have it with those elbows. It makes me feel uneasy. The last match of the night is BB Hulk versus Koji Kanemoto. 6-1, 2007, Best of the Super Juniors. I was reminded that BB Hulk, he wrestles with a choker on, which might be one of the worst looking things like a wrestler could wear. C1 Bagwell buff for confirmation. Like, why would you do this? Like, you look like a fucking asshole with a choker on. Like, you know who looks good with chokers? Girls do, not fucking pro wrestlers. Just put it out there. Corkin is like super hot for this match, which is like really nice, and it makes me wonder if there's like a further backstory between those two. If you know, let me know. I noticed that Tiger Hattori is wearing a Hot Sauce Tracy Williams t-shirt even before they dropped, which was kind of mind-bending because this match was like in 2007. Like, how did he get this shirt? Like, how did he fucking envision? Unless Tracy Williams bit that shirt off Tiger Hattori, I don't know. If anyone has the truth,
I was wondering that too. Honestly, I thought it looked like that shirt too, and I was like, "Oh, that's odd." But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't mean to blow your shit up, Tracy Williams, but Tiger Hattori's wearing your shirt. I always thought like BB Hulk was like Diet Kota Ibushi. Like he's like a handsome man that can do like cool strikes, but like I do got to give BB Hulk his due here. Like he's pretty good in this match. Like he hits like the fucking like E-Fed dream move that I wish I could do. Like, he, like, runs up to, like, Koji Kanemoto while, like, running the ropes. And then he hits a fucking backflip off of him. It's a 9:43 in the match. And I was like, I rewinded this clip, like, 49 times just to, like, make sure, like, I saw what I saw. Like, it was like when Jason Williams hit that elbow pass in the rookie game in the All-Star, like, 2001, 2000. I was like, did I really see that? And it was so amazing.
Yeah, it's a move it's a move you can do in Fire Pro, but I never knew people did it in real life until I watched this match, honestly. I was like, oh shit, somebody actually does that move.
Yeah, it was fucking BB Hulk. It was incredible.
Yeah.
I will say though that this match will get all of the leg seller truthers out there like super excited, like they will just get those boners out for this match. This match is like the ultimate leg selling match. This is a fun match. Like both these guys are like top 10, like not top 10, but like if I had a list, they'd be in my top 10 of like strikers. I feel like they throw those kicks so fucking convincingly. And I don't think Koji Kanemoto like has ever slapped his leg in his life. Like this is a brutal shit going on here in this match.
Yeah, like I've obviously never seen this match. Just this is like as far as like a match that I went in completely blind on. Yeah. This is probably the best match Alo's ever put on this mixtape that I've like been completely blind on, where I've like heard nothing about it. Like this match is fucking amazing. Like I don't know if it's something I slept on because 2007 I definitely was not paying attention to weird Japanese wrestling. So,
yeah, me too. I had no idea this happened.
But yeah, this match was fucking great. Yeah, BB Hulk comes out, which is a person I believe I have seen in real life before, and it's weird because he comes out, and my first note is very visual.
Yeah, super visual,
very visual man.
Yeah,
got that choker on, got the arm chokers, and I'm just like, oh man,
he does have arm chokers. You're right.
I think, yeah, I was like, I might turn gay right now. This might be it for me. But yeah, speaking of Kanemoto not slapping his leg, I will say, like most people who are into this shit, I'm a big fan of Koji Kanemoto. I don't fucking own DVDs of the guy, but I always preferred Otani over Kanemoto, but they're both on like the same level as being like dick ass kickers in New Japan Juniors.
Yeah.
But this is like the first later era Kanemoto match I've ever seen, where he's kind of like a grizzled old vet at this point. And he's definitely not slapping his leg, but his boots are pretty big. He has some kind of like sound enhancers and those things. But I mean, he's definitely just letting go all over this dude. There's a part in the match where I think Kanemoto throws BB Hulk over the guardrail.
Yeah.
And there is I don't want to say obviously gay, but probably 95% a gay man that he throws him into, and he is so fucking happy about this. Like, he is just like, yes. Like, he's like touching BB Hulk, and he's like so excited that this is happening, where like he doesn't even know where to put his hands. I wish I timestamped this, because people are just gonna think I'm like being homophobic or something, but this is like fucking for real happens in this match. And it's, yeah, like as Al said, like the crowd is so hot during this match, and it's like I was the same way, where I didn't understand the story. Are these guys like ex-best friends? Are they ex-lovers? Are they current lovers? What is going on? Like, the crowd is so hot for this, and they like play up to it so fucking good. It's kind of like, jokes aside, it seems to be some kind of teacher versus student kind of like scenario.
Yeah, maybe.
And it's just, yeah, it is like Kanemoto is like just letting off on this dude, and BB Hulk's like standing up for himself. It is a fucking great match. The ending sequence, this match, like the last minute of this match, is just fucking perfect. It's fucking amazing. This is my 2007 preemptive match of the year, belated match of the year. I probably did not see anything as good as this in 2007. I meant to like Google to see if this is like some kind of legendary match I missed out on, but yeah, for some like, whatever match, I don't know. I don't think this was the finals of the Best of Super Juniors. This is just like some match in it. And yeah, this is like a fucking great match. And I would definitely tell you that you should probably watch this match if you are a listener to our show and you've never seen it before.
Definite must watch it. It got the 9 stars for me. I might have thrown a pound sign. I might have thrown in a fucking yen. It was really, really fucking good. That was episode 31 of the Virtual Pros podcast. Hit us on Instagram and Twitter at VRTL Pros. Hit us on iTunes, subscribe, leave a review. Hit us on SoundCloud. Hit that heart. You know I like it. Mike, any last words?
Hey, I'll be at Evolve and Lucha Libre this weekend with my telephoto lens, taking pictures of butts and shit. So if you want to say hi or get a free sticker, find me and we'll talk.
Patreon donors of $100 and more, though. No broke motherfuckers. Don't say hi to Mike if you didn't donate.
No broke motherfuckers.
That was episode 31.
Let me see that Patreon receipt.
Peace.